We got an exciting show. We got John. We got John Cardi. Uh, we got some videos from John, UFO, some orbs, and we're gonna talk about his experience. You know, much he's want to tells us. You know, I'm never gonna push you to feel uncomfortable of what you want to talk about, but you know, we're talking about abductions. And of course, you guys saw the title of the show. Now, I know some people might misread what I meant when I wrote the title of the show. Somebody wrote, the title show, is it normal to believe you have been abducted by aliens? Now, I know a few people who know for a fact that they have been abducted by aliens. I know people who think, who not thinks, but who knows they feel it, they have been, but they don't have those memories like somebody else has. And part of the show, I like to interview different people. Is why do some people remember more? Why do some people don't? Is there a reason? Is it a different kind of ship, different kind of aliens? You know, I mean, why is it that some people can remember, some people can't? And then why you got that feeling that you have? You know, what is it all? I mean, what's the answers? I mean, there is no direct answer to none of it. It's just probing and studying and learning. Now, everybody who's watching right now, you guys all know on this channel that I never push a belief onto anybody. It's up to you what you want to believe. I know some people believe in Bigfoot. They don't believe in UFOs. Some people believe in UFOs. They don't believe in the paranormal. I mean, it's up to you. All I ask is be respectful. If you don't agree or disagree, just be nice in the chat. Just be nice. That's all I ask. You know, because anybody comes out and say that they felt they've been abducted, that's a bravery. That's because, you know, John, I know when you go on different shows and once you say the word, I've been abducted, you know, people are going to look at you like, you're crazy. You're nuts. You're local. I mean, you know that. I mean, me doing this show saying I believe in Bigfoot, the paranormal, you know, I believe in all of it. People look at you like you're nuts. You're crazy. And I'm not here to say every story's true. Every story's real or fake, you know, but that's why we do these shows, to try to figure out what is the truth. And then at the end of it, it's up to every single one of you to pick and choose what you want to believe. Now, the quote of the day I have pinned for this show is, this is the quote of the day by Jackie Chan himself, Mr. Karate motherfucker himself. Sometimes it takes only one act of kindness and caring to change a person's life. I want you guys to hear that. Sometimes it takes only one act of kindness and caring to change a person's life. What does that mean? Who cares what everybody else, how other people treat somebody? If you treat somebody the right way with kindness, you might be the difference between of helping somebody's life or not. Or there's a lot of times people want to do things that want to hurt themselves, and sometimes by you being kind to them, you help them. So just be kind to people. So John, we'll just jump right into it. So John, you've yourself have felt you've been abducted by aliens, correct?
Yes.
It was when was the first time you felt that you were taken? Was it a kid, teenager? Was it an adult? When did you feel you were taken?
It was when I was 15. This was back in 1995. And the first time I thought I was being taken is when I actually saw Grays looking into my window right after my bed was like jumping off the ground. So that kind of solidified it for me.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to look at the environment. Were you living in the country? Was it more a suburb town? Where
it was like a dense suburb. You know, every house was maybe 30 feet apart, like in a straight row all the way down the street. So, like, honestly, my first thought when I saw them and this whole thing started unfolding was, how are they in such a heavily populated area? Like, that was my number one thought. Like, I believe in abductions, but like, why are they here? Like, I thought they only did that stuff like on lonely highways in the middle of the country, where no one's around. So I thought that was blatant, and that kind of just that was a shocker to me because I followed the subject before. So I followed all the older stories. Usually, like Betty and Barney Hill, they're driving down a highway, nobody's around and they get abducted. So I thought that's how it happened. So that was a shocker that, and they were standing on my the roof of my first floor patio, looking into my window. And I used to hang out on that roof. And if you stand on that roof, you can look down the whole entire block. You can look down as far as you can see of just straight houses. You can see everybody's backyard and everything. So it was that situation that's even there in the first place kind of shocked me. But the second I saw them, I knew,
Was there anybody? I'm not saying anybody who saw you get taken by the Grays, but was there any other reports in the area that they saw lights in the sky by any chance? Was there? I know when you're 15, when something like that happens, you're not investigating like you probably would now. But was there any other words? Have you heard that somebody else saw something strange that night too, to make you feel like I know what happened? So when you saw this, I know in the show X-Files, of course, we all know X-Files. When Fox Mulder talks about seeing his his sister get abducted, he was frozen. He couldn't move. He couldn't do anything. So when you saw them, were you in that state where you couldn't move? You didn't have a choice. You were just at their, they can do whatever they want.
No, I can't move. So what happened pretty much was I was home by myself this night. My family left. They went on a cruise. I had the option to go. And I was like, I'll take the house to myself.
They let the 15-year-old boy at his house by himself?
Yeah, for the weekend. So
were you a good kid or were you a party kid?
I partied, but for that weekend, I was good. I just played basketball during the day. I just enjoyed silence pretty much. I was happy. It's just quiet and it's chill. So I got home. They left. I got home that night around 11. Took a shower. I go to my room, get changed. All the lights are on. I'm like, wide awake. I just got done playing basketball, took a shower, and I'm like in a pretty good mood. I got the house to myself. I'm a teenager, got my snacks. So I get in bed, and as soon as I go to turn the TV on, my bed started jumping. And then that went on for like 30 seconds. And then when I looked to the right, I saw him looking in the window. And I just turned my head. Like I had this weird feeling hit me after the bed stopped moving. And I turned and looked, and there was two of them. One was a little taller than the other, but the taller one's the first one I made eye contact, and it was just absolute tunnel vision locked on. I was able to move.
By any chance, do you remember what the outside atmosphere was like that day? Was it a full moon, clear, raining? Was there something out of the ordinary?
I was just playing basketball outside an hour previous to that, and I remember it was a clear sky. It was nice. I believe it was like the beginning of the school year, maybe September, October, possibly. So there's a clear sky, and my bedroom lights were on, so the lights like shining out the window. So all I could see was their two heads. Like everything else was kind of blinded out a little bit. But I got, and they were like 4 feet from me. I can see them so clear. I can see the pores in their skin. I can see like the lines in their skin, like if you zoom in to our skin, how like little lines and like when you zoom in a little bit in the skin, I can see everything. I can see the moisture, like
Are they like us? Do they have like clothes, or you can see the whole skin like you're talking about?
I just saw from the chin up. I couldn't see anything else. Their heads took up the bottom half of the window. So all I saw was their heads. But if they were standing there, they couldn't have been no more than 3 to 4 foot tall, 4 foot tall at the most. But I didn't see none of their body, but their face, it looked. People asked me if it looked like a helmet or something fake. And like how I think it's like amphibians, how they have like that moisture on their face. I could see like my light glistening off their face. It was crazy.
And there's two of them. Were they? Did you hear any kind of a language between the two? Make any kind of noise?
They didn't even move. There's absolutely no movement between those two. And like I remember when I locked eyes on the first one, I just couldn't turn my head. I tried. But there was no communication. There's no reaction to when I turned and looked at them. I mean, they were just emotionless. And yeah, I mean, the faces are burned in my brain. Like their mouth was like a slit, right? But they didn't have lips, but it looked like the skin like slightly curled in where the crease was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then
I wonder, like dolphins and stuff. They talk to each other, through the mind. Telepathy. Telephony. You know,
I mean, I believe they do, but at that moment, it was like everything just froze. Like someone hit pause, and everything just stopped, and it was just like a staring contest.
God, you
It
just
was
wonder, like, why, why do they choose you at, like you said, because you're because what you're explaining, you're not in the country, so you weren't the only house out there. They had all these houses to choose from, unless they, I mean, first of all, if they travel here, we know they're intelligent. I mean, to fly here, maybe they knew that you were alone. Like you said,
yeah,
because you said
I believe they did.
your parents took off on a ship, on a cruise, which didn't take you. That's kind of messed up.
I
Forget the
always
kid,
think
let him
like
stay home.
I always imagine what my life would be like if I just went on that damn cruise and didn't stay home, you know. But anyway,
Well,
after I was looking at them, I was staring at the one, and I get this. It's hard. It's like your body gets like an alert signal, like like an alert, like all of a sudden, like look to the left. I mean, I looked so quick to the left, and I'm looking at the bottom of my door, and then like 2 seconds later, I see two pair of legs step to the outside of my door, and then like the shadows of the legs went under my door onto my hardwood floor. So I felt like I was surrounded at that point, and
did they
I took
did
my
they
blanket
take
over
you?
my head. Huh?
I mean, did they actually like take you from your room and
Well,
went up, or they just evaluated you at your house?
I don't remember that part because when I saw the shadows come under my door, I was like, oh shit, I'm surrounded, you know. So I took my bed sheet, put it over my body, and I just laid there like in the fetal position, like just waiting for something to like waiting to feel hands touch me. And I was under the blanket for a few seconds, and then I woke up in my living room the next morning, like, hanging halfway off with my shorts backwards, and I had a scar, not a scar, I mean, I had a scab like that big at the lowest part of my back,
Do you
and I
think
was
that
just,
they store something beneath that scar by any
uh,
chance?
I had an ex girlfriend check that out like maybe 10 years after, and she felt down there, and she says the tip of my tailbone's not even there, like it's pretty flat. Um,
You ever go through one of those metal protectors like an airport and your body goes off?
No, I think something was removed, if anything. I don't know for sure. I still have the scar to this day, and it burns
Because
often.
I think when they put stuff in you, that it's no metal like we have on Earth, and I believe that it won't even be detected by a metal detector. But I always ask. I've heard
Yeah,
stories. People say they walk through a metal detector, and they're wearing no metal, no nothing, but for whatever reason they're going off. Now I'm not saying they have something from out there, but I'm thinking if they put something in you, and if they're able to fly here without being spotted by governments, military, they have the technology to block all that. And I'm sure if they put some kind of device on you to see where you go, like their GPS system, we're not going to be able to detect it unless cut in and try to pull something out. But here's another thought. If they are putting something in people, one of the things that I know, we're going to a movie for a second, people. George Lucas in his Star Wars movies, the clones, the idea of the clones, that they didn't put a chip in all the clones. It was an organic,
mm,
like a chip in a way. So it's almost like a living tissue that's inside you, that is like the GPS system. And if you think about that, if they put something organic inside you as a GPS, you ain't going to detect that. And even
yeah,
if
sure.
somebody cuts you open, I mean, I don't know what it will look like. maybe it won't be seen by a doctor because it's organic versus a piece of metal like you see on, you see on X-Files. They got, those little metal things. But what if it's organic? Or actually, beyond that, since that happened, going forward, I'll ask you again if you feel like you've been abducted again, but has your body physically felt changed? Like because they were there touching you? I'm not saying they give you magic powers, not that like that, but do your body physically feels a little different because they were there by any chance? I know it's hard to answer because how would you know, right?
Yeah.
Going forward,
I would have to say no. Besides waking up with holes all over my body, that's the only thing I could say. But as far as actual physical change, no.
I mean, how would you know, right? I mean, because somebody was asking me like, Eric, how does it feel like being like almost like death when I was a kid? I'm like, I don't know. You don't know any different. That's all you knew. So how would you know? So beyond that incident, you never felt they came back, or have you felt that they came back?
I think they come back often, for sure. So
when they come back, now that's a good question. So when they come back often, is it kind of almost the same day, the month, in the year, any close to the date the first time they met you, or have you found any clues that matches when they're seeing you? Is there something similar to every visit?
It's so random. I might not have an incident for 2 years, then I'll have one, and then a couple months later, I might have 3 within 1 week. So, and the only reason I'm saying I feel like I'm being taken these times is because I wake up in the morning, I'll have like holes on my arm that form like triangle patterns on my legs. Also, past couple of years, I've been having some weird dreams that don't feel like dreams, which I've never really had before, of being abducted in my dreams. So like from 15, I'm 42 now. So from 15 to now, I've been totally paranoid about this. But I never had a dream with an alien that whole time until a couple of years ago. And they started like kind of, how can I explain it? It's like they lurk in the back of my dreams. Like they're not part of the dream. It's like they're in the background moving around and stuff. And then I've had dreams where I've actually been sucked up in the sky through the clouds that feel so real. And I'll wake up and I might have like, a bunch of holes on my knee or a weird pinhole somewhere. So I put 2 and 2 together. As far as physically seeing them face to face, it hasn't happened since. I really hope it doesn't.
See,
I can live
dreams.
with what.
Now, you brought up dreams. See, that's so interesting. A lot of people have claimed dreams. I have claims that you get in that state where, like, I remember I couldn't move. I know there's a word for that, and people say, it's this, blah 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 blah. But what's weird is, and now, guys, take all this with a grain of salt. I'm not expecting you guys to believe. You guys don't have to believe me or not, but it's up to you guys. If you're open-minded, where there'll be a time where I felt like I couldn't move, and my brother felt that about like the same time too. And there was a time that I woke up and found out that I have a rip muscle in here, pain in here. After I woke up in the night of couldn't move, and then I was talking to my brother because I did a show late the next day, because I went to do X-rays, and my brother didn't know that, and he was telling me that he woke up with this sharp pain in the same. I don't know if he ever went and got X-rays, almost exact same spot, like the same time, and he didn't even know about this until I showed him the medical paperwork. I go, look, I rip him, same time, same spot. Now,
wow.
Is that like, we're not twins. He's like 2-3 years older than I am. I'm the youngest, so there's no twins thing. But like you said, but it was weird that both of us had this dream like you couldn't move. How? I know there's luck that people can have the same dream, but then the same pain. in the same area, and that wasn't the first time. There's been a couple times where I felt I busted my ankle. I busted my ankle, and then finding out that he busted his ankle.
Wow.
Like the same day, and you ask yourself, is that just a weird phenomenon? I'm not saying it's related to any alien abduction, but you hear stories all the time that people are taken, and some people can remember some of it, some people can't, and when they get that, hypnotized, whatever, sometimes the stories come out. So you got to look into those dreams.
What I was told by a few people who I trust, they say the majority of people who get abducted don't remember anything, or they remember a piece of one incident. Because I've met people that claim to get abducted like almost every day, and they're out partying up on UFO, having a good time, and saying how they're like they're space brothers or here to save the world or something. And that could be a possibility, but I know what I saw and what I deal with. Like, that's not the vibe I get from these beings. So you're not really supposed to remember anything. But what you said about you and your brother, that's happened to me plenty of times, but by myself. Like, I'll wake up with a sprained ankle. I get up to go to the bathroom, and I'm going down. I'm like, how did I sprain my ankle while I'm sleeping? But this was like years ago. I didn't even put any of this stuff together till like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, really.
Well, yeah, because you don't think of it during the time.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, my ankle. Like, I just brush it off and go about my business. There's even times I had missing time where I just skip. I'd be like one place and then up somewhere else, and it's just so mind blowing. I just go on with my day. Like, I kind of like try to forget about it, but the more stuff happens as I get older, I look back at the other stuff and I'm like, how did I miss that? Like, how did I not think something was seriously wrong from me going from my bedroom to my driveway in a split second and being in the middle of a conversation? So much stuff like that.
Growing up, we our family, we always go hunting. I'm from Fresno, California, and we go hunting up the Sierra Mountains by Yosemite National Park and those areas. And every time we go, it seems like, for whatever reason, you never put two together, that when you get that frozen feeling, majority of that has always been we're in the mountains, but when you're thinking a kid, maybe because the mountains, you think it's cold outside or something, you're in a sleeping bag, maybe you're not on that bed. But then you start listening to other people's stories and like, what, there might be something more to hear. And I'm always pissed, because if if I was, why can't I have those memories? Is it because my mind's not open enough? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, you struggle to wonder why. Why?
I just think we're not supposed to. I try to figure out how it works, because this stuff's out there. It's real. It's interacting with us. I think it's been here forever. I always wondered if this is something that was known.
A good question. Here's a good question, John. Chris wrote, "Are you a super active dreamer? Do you remember your dreams? Do you sleepwalk?" And for me, I dream all the time, and I would think half of them I remember. Some I don't. I know I dream, I don't remember, but I think it's give and take. Of remember now. Do you sleepwalk? No, I have never been told that I sleepwalk. So for me, no, I haven't sleepwalk. But for you,
I used to sleepwalk.
So you have sleepwalk. So for you, and listen, you're saying you do sleepwalk, and you have more of a memory of what's happened to you. Of course, I mean, you saw physically hands-on, you saw the window, the aliens, but you're saying you dreaming more and you sleepwalk. So that's interesting. I don't sleepwalk, or haven't been told I have, and I don't have really memories of the spaceship. I just felt like something is going on. So that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dreams are pretty I can easily have anywhere from 3 to 6 dreams in one night and remember a majority of it. But sprinkled in there is these dreams that I swear are not dreams. It's hard to explain. I think it's hard for people to believe, but that's just how I feel. Like, we all had adults here, we've been having dreams forever. You know, I think we'd all know if a dream is something different than what you experience every night. And there's been a handful of times where I feel like it wasn't quite a dream.
Yeah, and we're gonna look at some of your videos in a second, but before we look at them, you do see UFOs, right?
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't see UFOs at all.
I wish.
Okay. That's interesting because I know some people who have claims of being abducted, and since they've been abducted, they've actually seen UFOs more, or sometimes they feel like they could summon a UFO. If that's true or not, I can't. There's no way to prove that, but I've heard that. So that's interesting that for you, with your abductions, you really don't see UFOs, or maybe do you think maybe you're not looking properly to see unidentified? Now, remember everybody in the
That's
chat.
possible, yeah.
Remember everybody in the chat. A UFO is technically an unidentified flying object. So everything up in the sky you don't recognize is a UFO. But I'm more talking about like an alien ship. You feel like you've seen an alien ship. So you don't really feel that a light up there is an alien ship looking at you.
I wonder if they even use UFOs anymore. That's something I've been thinking about for a little bit. Just because I've seen some weird stuff on camera, this makes me think maybe they're not even.
I have a video from your channel, and let me. Somebody in the chat can put his link to his overall channel. The link I'm putting in is directly to this video that I'm going to show. But if somebody could put his link to his direct show. Now, this video from your channel is called Face in Window 360 View. Yes. This one is 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Do you want me just to play it right now, or do you want to explain a little bit what we're going to see?
Yeah, I'll explain real quick.
Let's just play.
What's going to happen.
All right, guys, we're gonna kick back. I'm going to play the whole video. So relax, get some coffee, get some popcorn. This is going to be exciting. So let me get it bigger. And guys, I'm going to put my microphone on mute so you guys don't hear an echo. Because sometimes if I play a YouTube video and my mic, they can hear a double. So I'm going to be on mute here while I play this video.
So this video was taken a couple of years ago. As you can see, sorry, it's just 360. So I'm sleeping on the couch, and I made this video so I can zoom in and look closer at what's going on. So as you can see right there, there's like a face that appears in the right side, right around this area.
Oh, hold on. I pressed pause for a second.
Sorry.
Actually, I don't need to put my thing on mute. And
nice.
Yeah, I think I saw that, and I want to see if I could pause it right on it.
All right. So, right there. So, this appears in the camera, and it morphs into a human-looking face. Now, every time a car drives by in the background, you see the face morph and disappear, and then when the car is done driving by, it comes back again. So this happens a couple times, and then you're going to see a light appear on the brim of this thing's hat, and the light circles the brim, and then this thing just disappears completely, and then you see a black car in the background with a guy in a hat and like a trench coat smoking a cigarette. And I looked at this shit like at least 100 times, and I'm convinced that this isn't something normal. Because I actually went outside after this, and I stood outside the window, and the top of my head doesn't even reach the bottom of the windowsill. And you can also see this figure has broad shoulders. So I don't think it's somebody standing on something. I think it's like somebody the size of Shaquille O'Neal looking in my window. And
if I may ask, and I'm just, I'm just asking to, research.
You can ask wherever you want, man.
Why are you recording out that window even in the first place? I mean, is it because you saw something, you sent something, and you felt like you had to grab your camera and put it there? What's the camera doing there in the first place?
The window just happened to be open. So actually the window's open, the screen's closed, but I was recording there because I thought I saw something in a previous video. So what I used to do is, if I would see a beam in the living room
Okay.
somewhere on camera, I would adjust all the cameras to focus in certain areas. So I would reposition everything. So in this case, I must have been looking for something along this wall. And what's interesting is the thing doesn't even look at me sleeping on the couch. It's just looking straight at my camera. And I'm
Okay,
pretty convinced it's something normal.
So you saw something, you sensed something, and that's why you went and grabbed the camera to start recording here. Is this like just one day, or you constantly record at this window because you seen something?
I only recorded for this window for a few days, but I was not expecting or looking for anything like this. I was looking for like a shadow person, or like it might have been an orb that had a face that I saw on this wall. So this was pretty shocking to me, you know. And then you see the guy in the back there, and the face keeps changing.
But aren't you afraid of, in a way? I know this sounds weird, to know too much. I mean, you're recording, and what if that face comes? Yes, you got the shot of the real face, but in a weird way, wouldn't that kind of make you want to shit your pants in a way? Because you're like, yes, I caught it, but he's looking at me. I know. I don't want to go.
Ever since this, I've been concerned.
You hear stories of cows being mutilated, and you hear stories of people. There's even stories that I know, people who said they've been abducted and they're missing some body parts in and out. I mean, are you afraid of that might happen to you, or you just got to have the answer? You just, no matter what, I need that answer.
Yeah, real quick, I want to. Mandela Mike made a comment saying the window was a mirror. We also want to let everybody know the glass windows are up. There's only a screen there. You know, I was letting fresh air in.
So the window's up. So it's
window's
not
up.
being
That's just a screen. Yeah, there's no reflection.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm smart.
I felt like my evidence was ramping up before this part, and like maybe a couple months before this, my laptops and my phone all got hacked. You know, I used to watch my phone just scroll by itself, and I was missing files. I had one laptop I had to throw away. I couldn't even reset it. And then this happened after that, and then I'm concerned. I'm definitely concerned because, you know, it's my opinion that I think this is Men in Black. Obviously, I can't say it is, but I've watched this so many times from so many angles, and it's just it looks like what I think it is, but I can't say what it is for sure. But see that light around the hat? That light goes around the brim of the hat, and you can see the face, and it just disappears. Like, that's wild, you know. Yeah, I'm definitely nervous because the more I record, the more stuff I'm finding.
Now, is there any way? I'm just asking. Is there any way that could have been, I don't know, kids or adults or animals walking through the window by any chance? Is there a way that could have accidentally or there's just no way nobody could walk behind there?
Like I said, if I walked under that window, you wouldn't even see the top of my head, how high that window was.
So it's high up where if somebody is walking, you want to be able to see it. Okay.
I took a picture the next day of me standing outside the window. In the picture, I look pissed off because I'm so mad because I never realized how high it was. And I'm like, I'm 5'10", so whatever that was could have been easy 7-8 foot. You know? Yeah, this video really
and I appreciate I appreciate, John, that you're answering the question because you know, I always say you get some kind of footage, you want to try to debunk it yourself to the point where you can't debunk it any further. You know, because the first thought is somebody made a comment about the window mirror. You said the windows are up, so it can't be a mirror. Got that out of the way. Somebody made a comment, what if a couple kids playing out there? Which is a good question. And you're saying that where the window's at, you wouldn't be able to see somebody going across. So that's great. You take that away. But now you do see cars. Is that because there's a freeway or a road that's like...
Yeah, that's just the street in front of my apartment. You know, that's just the street, I believe. Actually, I'm not sure what time this happened. This probably happened at nighttime, which is weird because I hardly ever record, or I never get anything on camera at nighttime. But what's interesting, what really sells me on this is this face not one time looked at me. So if you're up high enough to look in that window, you can see I'm sleeping on the couch. Like, my face is actually facing the window sleeping. So if this was like a human, you think it would turn its head slightly just to look at me, just to glance over, but it literally looks directly at my camera. So this is a video I like to have like broken down by like a real videographer, somebody with like possibly college connections or a degree, like, because some of these videos, I'm 100% confident it is what I think it is, but I need it to be scrutinized and broken down.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I mean, you're always gonna have people are gonna, you know, but here now you sent me some other videos. You got one that says I'll get some timestamp together in a little bit. Let me know if you need is here.
I did not get those timestamps, but these videos you can play straight through. So what this is now is that window we just saw the face in. I took my camera and put it outside the window on the brick sill.
Yeah, let's do this from your YouTube channel. I could get the window. I could get it bigger. I thought maybe Facebook I could pull it up even more. Here, let me just go back here.
You have to download it from the messenger, I think.
Yeah. So
it should be Xmas 2020, I believe the name of that video is. It should be down one more. Xmas morning 2020.
Video footage. Why am I blind? Why can't I?
Right there. One more over it. Right there.
Oh, Christmas morning.
Yep.
Oh, Christmas. Okay. Is there like a certain spot I should play it, or?
I would scroll through almost 2/3 of the way. So I can tell you one stop. Keep going. You'll see. Yeah, you keep going. Almost 2/3. Keep going. Keep going. So you'll see the picture change where I turn the IR off, and you can play right after that. I think right here should be good. I'm just skipping some of the boring stuff, but so this is Christmas morning outside. I can understand why people could think these are bugs. But I just recently took a video last night, and I got some bugs on the camera, same camera, and you can see the wings and the legs. You can see the actual bug. And these flashing lights in the sky, you see these parallel lights. I've taken a couple of screenshots and zoomed in, and there's multiple faces, and then those beams of light that come down to these houses, and they only show themselves for one frame. So I had to watch. It took me, 30 minutes, 300 minutes, 3 to 4 hours just to watch this over once, going frame by frame.
I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna slow motion it, just to look to see. Like maybe I'll go to 0.5. Let's see, like
those beams of light you see coming down. And also, I want to let everybody know the camera is not. This camera is completely outside. There's no window in between at all. And what's funny is
now somebody wrote this, and I'm just gonna ask. Somebody wrote snowflakes. Maybe was there any snow? Any chances of anything like that out there?
There was a mist in the air a couple hours before I recorded, and there's possibility there's still a mist in the air, but it was definitely less than a drizzle. But there was like a moisture in the air.
A mist and a drizzle wouldn't do that dramatic.
Yeah, like, and if anybody if wants to take the time to look through it yourself, you can find this stuff that I found as well. It's just such a tedious thing to do, to go frame by frame by frame, because most of this stuff is not even visible for a full second.
So in a way, you are seeing unidentified objects. I know it's a light, but if you can't identify it, you don't know if it's bugs or not, then it is technically identifying flying object in a weird way. It's just lights going down, so there is something that you cannot sit there and identify.
I understand how insane this is going to sound. I really don't like saying it, to be honest with you, but I feel like there's a possibility that this video could have people being abducted from their houses. I don't know how else to say it. I feel uncomfortable saying it because I know how it sounds. But I mean, like I said, if anyone wants to look at this video for themselves frame by frame, everything's there.
You shouldn't feel. Let's think about this. Let's play the game. It is. People are getting abducted. I do this sometimes, saying, just guys, just play it. What if it is getting abducted? So people are getting abducted, but you truly don't know how. I mean, if people at 1 minute they're in a house, they're in a ship, they're in a forest walking around, like the famous Fire in the Sky movie. That true story of that story where he was taken, and he was somewhere else on another part of town. How did it get there into a ship right away if a ship did not land and like literally grab your hand, hold hands, and put you in? Somehow you're up there. And if they have the technology to come down like here, I'm not saying we're in the Star Trek world where they could beam you up, but if they have that kind of technology, that can technically be being beamed up like Star Trek. We don't know what that will look like.
I would say there's probably 5 or 6 of those beams of light that I zoomed into.
Or look at this guy. This is kind of interesting. Maybe scanning. Maybe the light is they're scanning the person and they're learning about you. That's an interesting.
The one picture is just so ridiculous. Like there's a beam of light coming to the house with all the lights on the left. There's a black woman at the top of the beam. There's a being right below her. And then all the way at the bottom, there's another face, a black guy's face in the beam. I haven't lived here for a year, but I am fairly confident that that's my neighbors that live across the street in that beam. I can't say for sure, but I've been wondering, like, should I even go there and like show them, like, do you know who this person is? Like, do you recognize this person? Because I'm like pretty confident. To me, it's pretty clear. And then it's like, I know this stuff's hard to like prove, right? I mean, a lot of people have similar stuff. It's evidence, but it's not the smoking gun evidence. Like,
well, what's interesting is once in a while, like right here, right, you see one light. Okay, you could say, okay, that could be an insect. I'm not saying it is, 1 or 2, but you're right. When you get to here, it's like all of a sudden, if those are insects, they're all coming out at once, where the rest of the video they were not.
Yeah, I have to mention too, like, this is Christmas. It's wintertime. There's no way there's this many bugs in front of my window. I actually went outside.
True. Wintertime. That's true. In cold, when it gets getting colder and stuff, yeah, you don't have a lot of bugs like if it was summertime and all that. So that's a good point. That's a great point.
Sorry about that.
Apologize. Oh no. For a second, I was like, "Uh-oh, the Men in Black know you're on my channel. They're coming to get you."
Show you guys.
Now, what's this here? Now, you have one that actually is called Orb. An orb comes from TV and it goes through my wall. Let's check this out.
Yes. I'm sleeping on the couch when this happens. This is a video my friend edited. It's right there. See that?
Oh shoot! I was taking the comment off so I could see the whole screen. I got to go back now. Damn it! Yeah. I missed it. Okay, I missed it. Here we go. Quick.
And I'm just laying there, like looking on my phone. I'm awake.
Oh, wow, that's good. Wow, hold on. Hold on a second. I have to slow motion that. Oh, I'm actually at a slow
that was slow motion, yeah.
I'm gonna slow it even more. I gotta see that again. But let me go up a little bit, because now, since I slow motion it a little bit too much. Okay, come on. Maybe I slow motion it too much. Well, actually, let me go up.
There it goes.
Oh, did it go?
Go back a little bit.
Okay. I'll put it on my 11. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Yep. And there it goes. Boom. And then it goes straight down. Now it's turning. And you're looking at your phone.
Yeah.
You're not even
no idea
looking
it's happening. And that corner where it's going into, it's like right next to my HEPA filter, and that filter is on. It's meant to suck everything out of the air. So this thing is flying right by the HEPA filter without having any effect on it.
I'm gonna look at it at normal speed now.
Okay.
Damn. It almost reminds me of watching Disney the Tinkerbell going choo, 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 choo. I mean it's that quick. Wow.
Yeah.
And nothing else in the video, it's just in that one part.
Yeah, it's just that one part, that's all it is.
Wow, they're here. And by any chance, I know you noticed that later on when you re-looked at the video, but by any chance, do you remember feeling anything that was odd or feeling that you weren't alone?
Nothing. I was totally oblivious till I saw the footage. You know, it's a weird feeling looking through footage for the first time because you don't know what's there or not. When you see something crazy, it's always exciting, you know.
And what's weird is your TV's off. And the only reason I'm saying that, because, you know, of course, back in the 80s and 90s, you know, TVs work 24 hours. There's a lot of snow. And a lot of people know that in the paranormal world that you get a lot of conversations or voices heard when there's snow, you know, because it's picking it up. But your TV is completely off. So it's not even certain, you know. And of course, if you had your TV on, everything is 24 hours live television. You know, it's just 3 o'clock in the morning. It might be commercial. So the snow analog days are gone. Yeah. But that is interesting that to come out of the TV, it had to be enough energy to look that clear. That's the thing. That's the thing is how clear it is. One more time. I mean, that is clear. That corner is a hot spot. Right next to it, where was it? Right next to it, you have orb number 1.
So this was the first orb I ever recorded, the first one I ever seen on camera, and it was only just one orb. But this is what got me going down this path. You'll see it come under the coffee table.
Okay.
There it goes. That was it. That was the first one. That was it. That's all it was.
Okay.
And that opened up the floodgates to everything else. When I saw that, I knew that was something strange, you know. And that was the first clip I ever took. First footage.
So right at 13 seconds. Okay. I'm gonna go back to 12. I want to look at it at half speed. Here we go.
And the motion sensor picked it up as it went by as well. So if you notice, first of all, this room is completely pitch black, totally pitch black. I have my IR lights on, and if you see the light on the right side, that's another camera. And I set my cameras up originally to try to capture an abduction on camera. That was my plan. I sleep on my couch. I used to, so that's why these cameras are here. They're not here to record orbs or anything else. It was just meant to try to get an abduction. And that was the first thing I saw on camera. And then a couple of days later, there's a few more. Then there's a few more. Then it just got out of control.
What's this one? You also have a video called "Shadow Person Coming Out of a Light."
Yes.
To 320. Okay, let's go to 320.
So you'll see on the right-hand side. Actually, for some reason, the looks like the right side of the video is cut off on my screen. That's where all the action takes place.
Oh, really? Is it because, hold on, is it because I'm covering it up with hold on.
Yeah, it looks like our images in StreamYard are on the left and it pushed the video over to the right.
Well, I mean, if I take off this.
There you go. Good.
So that was me. That's my fault.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
That's my fault. Shame on me.
Well, everything happens so close to that right side, but you'll see a light appear.
So it starts at 320. All right, guys, I'm going to start this at 315. So at 320, you start to see something. So when I'm looking at this, you're saying it's going to be on the right side of the screen by the couch.
Yes.
Here we go.
It goes.
Oh, Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to play. I wasn't paying. Okay, I got to go back. Here we go.
I believe there's 2 separate ones here. You'll see the light appears. I don't know what the hell the light is. The light appears, the little one runs out, and then you'll see a bigger one pop out.
Yeah. You see a shadow too. Right there's a shadow.
Yeah.
And at that time, were you anywhere near there where it caught your shadow?
I wasn't even home. I already left for work.
So you weren't even home. Okay.
No. And once again, this room is all these videos. The rooms are pitch dark, even though it looks like they're illuminated. That's just the IR. These rooms are pitch dark.
I'm gonna half speed it. Here we go. Let's see.
Anthony looked at this video and he said it looked like the second shadow being might have a hat, which I never noticed. But once he mentioned it, I kind of see a little bit.
I did a half speed on purpose. Oh,
there you go.
Very bright. And then you see the shadow going like behind the couch. And then it goes up, went straight up. And then there's the shadow going back to the right.
And
is that where he saw the hat or further down?
No, that was the one that popped out. There's a video on my channel as well that says inverted shadow person. So somebody, a paranormal investigator from the UK, took this video and inverted the colors. And you can actually see almost a full figure of the shadow person.
And you have it on your channel?
Yes. Yeah, it should say
we're gonna look that up. I want to look at it one more time, slow motion with the original footage.
See, my thing is like, I record this stuff. And I'm not trying to just have someone play it and just me tell them what it is. I like how you're slowing it down, looking through it. Like I wanted my videos to be scrutinized because that's the only way you're gonna be able to find out,
Well, sometimes if you look at things at real speed, you're not going to learn a lot by watching something completely always at full speed. You got to slow it down, trying to look at it because you're trying to look for. I'm not saying you, but looking at evidence if that could be a human shadow, animal shadow, but you're answering the questions. Nobody was there, and you have no animals.
No. I try to debunk my footage before I even put it out because I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to put out something that I don't believe that's legit. So I always try to I try to debunk these videos before I even share them.
Where's this other video you're saying that you might see the shadow on a different camera angle?
I do not see it on there. It should be inverted shadow person. And the thumbnail is like the same thumbnail, but the colors are inverted.
And it's called inverted?
Yes.
Let's see here. Go back.
It's not
tons of orbs, 25 minutes straight orbs, shadow, orbs, TV, orb one, orb project sneak peek, orb video with figure. That sounds interesting. This was live, Sam live, video footage of what I believe to be the Men in Black. Footage from new footage angle of possible Men in Black. Yeah, it's not there. I want to see this one called Orb video with figures. I want to go back again. Here we go. I saw one go up.
I just watched this video like 2 days ago, and it's not on my YouTube at all, anywhere. I'm looking right now. That's weird. So, that was a good one right there. See these orbs? You see how they stretch out a little bit? That's a good sign that there's something there. Like it could be a type of a figure. I believe one of these orbs is a pretty clear one of a being. I'm not sure which one it is. This is like way back in the very beginning. And what's cool about this is like, as I go along taking footage, I learn more stuff that I can go back to the beginning and rewatch everything all over again and still find new stuff, which is pretty cool.
It almost seems like I'm going to put this back in normal speed.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird way. So this is the same house with the faces you're seeing in the window and the orb and that one orb. It's almost like your house is a portal in a lot of ways. And
so I thought the same thing. So this is the first time I ever recorded, and this is the only place I recorded at. So in January, it got crazy where I just had to move out. I just got up and left. I moved in with my family for a little bit. I couldn't stay here. So I didn't record from January till a few weeks ago. So I just started recording here again. And it's like the same process as the first time, where my first video here was just one orb. Then my second video here was a few, and now I'm on my fifth video here, and I'm getting crazy videos outside like I was before. So I feel like my presence possibly maybe they can tell, they sense my presence, and like maybe the energy has to build up, because the way it's happening now is the same way it's happened before, like the same like kind of order, how it builds up slowly.
Have you by any chance ever try to reach out to a medium to like feel and sense things there? Because like, for example, like my friend right here, Through the Veil Paranormal, her name is Nicole. She's a very well-known medium. And I have another friend, Amber's Paraworld, who's a medium. Have you reached out to have a medium maybe check your video out or go there personally to see if they feel something?
A paranormal investigation group come here for a few hours, and they had a medium. Phantom Detectives is what they're called, and there was like I think the 4 or 5 of them, and they did a whole investigation. They had their meters and recording stuff, and they had the cameras, and they got a thermal image of a being, and I know they got audio of a couple women. They claimed somebody took their life in my bedroom in this apartment. They were there for a while, but I definitely can say when they were in my bedroom, they kind of left pretty abruptly, and I'm still in contact with them, but they said they felt sick. Like they felt sick for days, all of them.
Well, that's interesting. Somebody took its life. So maybe what you're seeing out the window with the faces, maybe that's not an alien UFO related. Maybe that's the person of the house who committed suicide or got killed there. That's the face you're seeing, the person who belongs there, the shadow, the person who, according to the medium. Did you say the person killed himself or
they said there was multiple ghosts there, but also a guy who's part of the group is also like a UFO researcher and abduction researcher. So I had kind of 2 different perspectives in the same thing, and they feel like it's just a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's just a buffet of paranormal activity of all different types kind of mixed together in one place, which I kind of agree. Even though, maybe a face or 2 could be of that guy, but I have so many different faces that it can't just be one thing. I mean, I have literal pictures like of like different types of aliens in these orbs. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I've heard stories of near-death experiences. We all heard different stories, and people had near-death experiences, and once they had that, they see things now. They're feeling things more than they ever have before. Maybe with your experience at 15 years old, even though you don't feel a body change or something, but maybe because of that experience, you're more sensitive to where orbs are more around you, or maybe whatever spirit that's in that house wants to respond and talk to you. And I'm not saying anything give you magic powers and stuff, but or have you in your life had a near-death experience yourself? Maybe. No. So you haven't had that. So you scratch that out.
Yeah.
Maybe that alien experience that you had have opened you up for all these orbs and stuff.
But also, which I didn't mention was I was having dreams of UFOs when I was like 7 or 8. which I never thought nothing of, obviously. Even after the abduction thing, I didn't think nothing of it. But I had a recurring dream for about a year and a half, 2 years when I was in elementary school of me looking out a window at like a whole fleet of UFO.
This person right here, she's my dream expert. Lupita Inspires. She's got a great channel, and she deals with dreams, evaluating dreams. What are the dreams meaning? And I learned a lot of stuff from her channel. Like one of the things I've learned from her that when you have these dreams, you remember these dreams, you should write it down. Maybe you are. I don't know if you are. Like write everything down, everything you remember about the dream, and have yourself a dream journal to go back to. Unless you're already doing that.
No, I should have been doing that years ago. And everybody tells me I should do it. I still don't. But I know it's something I should do.
I know it's hard because you first wake up in the morning. Last thing you want to do is get a book, but that's when you want to do it because that's when it's fresh, right? Because during the day you start forgetting half your dream, unless it's that kind of a dream that you just cannot forget.
Some are like that. Like there's just one I keep having. It's like I'm literally living a different life. I don't know what city I'm in. But in my dream, I just go to work. I work. I think I'm remodel bathrooms in my dream. And I have a boss, and like I'm working, and then like we'll leave work and we're walking down the street, and then in a second later, I get sucked up through the sky into a UFO, like right through the clouds, and I can feel the wind hitting my face, and like it's almost I'm going stomach first, so my arms and legs are limp. And it happened twice in one dream, and I swear. I don't think it was real, but it felt real. Like I never felt wind blowing in my face in a dream. Like I could feel myself getting sucked through the sky. That will always stick with me. I don't know if that was real, but I don't think it was a dream. I don't know what to call it. But I was like living another life somewhere. It's crazy. Like I was at work, just handing this guy tools, like working like a regular day. Like every second of the day, I was kind of living through in this dream. But then halfway through, I get abducted twice.
Listen to this. Yes, it's different timeline dream. You can travel through dimensions.
I believe that,
Let me ask you. We're getting closer to like the end of the show. As of right now, when everything's going on, do you feel unsafe by any chance? Do you feel that you're in danger, or you feel like you're in a good spot and they're trying to communicate with you? I mean, what are you feeling right now with everything that has gone on?
As far as them trying to communicate with me, it happens often. Like I literally have to be like no, which I know that sounds weird, but like it usually happens in the shower or when I get out of the shower, when I get these vibrations and I feel like my head's on fire and I just get just be an alien face in front of me out of nowhere, eyes open or closed. And I remember this one time there's like it looked like a gray, but it was green, which I'd never seen before. And in my mind, it was like it kept saying, "I'm ready." Now, mind you, I just got out of the shower. I'm like completely naked, like I'm just freaking out. And I'm like, I'm not ready. He's like, I'm ready. And this was an argument I literally had in my mind, but of a face of a being like right in front of my face.
Yeah.
And this went on for like a minute. And stuff like that happens. Like since I started recording recently, everything keeps picking up. My experiences, my evidence, everything. I always get to this point where I can't get over the hump where it gets way too intense for me. Like I freak out.
Well, don't stop. Keep recording. Start writing it down because, we all look at dreams they're just dreaming. You're middle of the night, your brain is doing a few little stories and you go. A lot of stuff in your life is coming through your dreams. Something's telling you and all that. And so don't ever just, don't ever think dreams are not saying something. Your dreams are saying something.
When these happen to me, it's not a dream. I'll be wide awake just walking.
Yeah, you're having real life and dreams.
It happened to me at work one time. Dude, I thought I was losing my freaking mind. Like, eyes open or closed with a face right here for hours during the workday. Like, and I was working out like kind of like in a wooded area. I just felt like there was something watching me. I sat in a porta john for a half hour. I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out. I had to go home. Like I was trying to mix like cement. I just couldn't focus. So I kept seeing his face right here. I was like, So that happens when I get to a certain point. It's like when I keep digging and digging, I get to a point where, like, I don't know how to put it. In a way, I feel like if I wanted to see beings like these aliens again, I probably could if I made it known that, you know, I'm open to doing that. But I'm really not. You know, seeing them the first time was almost ruined my life pretty much. So I'll try to avoid seeing them again at all costs. But they try. It's for sure. They're very
Here's a good one. The two worlds connect within us. They're very connected. Don't be afraid. Your connection is strong. I have a name with a question.
There's people who are way more connected than me too. I feel like I only have like 1 foot in. I'm not like completely in. Like I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
You should, you know, if somebody could put Through the Veil Paranormal's link in the chat, I appreciate it. She's a good person you want to talk to, because she's Nicole has done a reading for me in a way. I mean, she never even charged me. She gave me a reading, and let me tell you something. What she saw, Phil, she's right on the money. And
yeah,
she might be a good person for you to reach out to, just because I would sit there and she'll tell me that she's seeing something next to me, and she'll subscribe to the person like, I know who you're talking about. So there's a lot of good people out there. You know, of course, I can't tell you who's the person, but I'm just telling you from me, Nicole from Through the Veil Paranormal, she's a very good medium to get in touch with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely will.
And that's...
as far as your question about being like scared or like, you know, I feel like my life's being threatened or something like that. I sometimes I wonder if I'm digging too deep into my footage and maybe sharing too much or something. Because that might be that Men in Black video I think I have, the Men in Black, like that came at a time where I was max in like investigating, reporting. I was getting like so many faces. I need to put together a professional like slideshow of my pictures, because there's dozens and dozens.
What? But you're doing it now, so you're gonna be learning to enhance more words, exactly what's going on. You know, you'll get better with more of your videos. You know, more you do this, and of course, I can never tell you and ever tell you what you should do, what you should not do, because that's going to be totally up to you. But I don't think you should ever stop searching, because I feel like if you stop searching, you know, you're going to have that feeling inside you that just killing you on the inside, that like scratching you, like because you want answers. And so my recommendation is never stop looking. Oh, what did she wrote here? Yeah. She wrote, I gave him the name, Eric. Oh, you gave him the name? Sean, you have Sean, you too close with cars. You're too close with cars. I have a name with the question. I'm trying to see, is there past life, something in the past life? Did the medium possibly give you? The question was, did the medium possibly give you a name, or was it a feeling that when you had that medium with that group? Good question. Good question.
I don't remember getting a name. I believe they said he was a teenager, like 17 or 18.
Oh.
I wasn't in the room at the time. I was like,
the name is Sean. That's the name.
Tell me it's Sean. Oh, okay.
Wow.
That caught me off guard when they told me there's like multiple spirits in that house.
Well, you got a name right there now. You got a point of like researching in a way to see, you know, if you can find out the names of the people who died there. I mean, first of all, if you looked and researched and that one of those people's name is Sean, holy shit. I mean, you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh my God, wow. But hey, you got a name there, and you should research on the death, because if it is a young person, a 17, I would think that's not a pleasant kind of a death because he died too young. You know,
I
is
had
not
some
happy.
poltergeist activity, I guess you would call it, in that bedroom too, on camera, like my bed sheets just moving by themselves.
Oh, on your channel, you got
No,
that?
no,
Oh,
no
oh
it's
no.
in my channel. It's in a live show buried somewhere, but I have no idea where it's at. I have to look it up.
I feel he knows this, Sean. Do you know? Do you get a feeling maybe you know Sean?
No, not at the
Or
moment.
or the shadows you're seeing on video or something in your house, are you getting a feeling that maybe you're getting to know that person is in your house or without knowing
As
anything?
as a shadow person,
Yeah.
I don't think so because I see them weekly everywhere. They're just all around, you know. So I don't think it's specifically one thing. Like where I'm at now, there was one night where I had my bedroom door open and laying in bed. I just see them one at a time, just popping their head in. Tall
Yeah.
ones, short ones, medium height ones, one at a time. They look in, then they pop their head out. Then the next one be a little taller. He'll look in. I actually seen like almost like a crowd outside my bedroom door. And I'm watching in my peripheral the whole time. And I'm just like terrified because I've never seen so many at once, you know. But they just look at me. It's all they do. Anywhere I've lived, they just pop out and look at me.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're
Well,
looking at.
if I was you, you could do, you could do what you want. I would try to reach out with her and maybe get a private reading from her so you guys go a little deeper, one on one without all this distraction. I'm not saying I'm a distraction. Come on, guys. Not a distraction. I'm a lovable person. I'm a lovable person. Uh, you know what I mean? But get that kind of one on one to see if you guys get a little deeper about this person, Sean. And if you guys do that, man, I'd like to get you and her on this channel, on the show together, all of us together. Laugh at
Yeah,
now. You're not.
that'd be cool.
Laugh at now. You're not, Eric. I'm not a nice person.
I had a
Oh,
I had a reading a couple of years ago. I was so skeptical before this lady did my reading, and it only took like a minute before I was 100%, locked in. All she had to do is say a couple things. Like she mentioned where I lived when I was a kid, where I totally forgot I even lived there, and she described my basement and everything. And I
you
was
mean
just like,
you
I'm
didn't give her your
sold.
wallet and she didn't go through your wallet first and none of that?
Oh, it was a friend of a friend. I mean,
That's
she remembered
awesome.
when I lived in Jersey when I was like 5.
Oh,
I don't remember that. And she was telling me like I had like a spirit, I guess, or like a spirit friend or somebody. I used to play in the basement, and she described my basement. She said it was 2 rooms, and there was a doorway in the middle that had no door. And I did not remember this at all. And I was like, there's no way she could have found that out. I don't remember that. There's nobody she could have asked or looked that up at all.
that's crazy.
And then I started trying to figure out how she does it or how these people do it, and it just stopped.
Well,
Trying to figure stuff like that, it just drives me crazy. I just accept it.
well, everybody, anybody's in the chat who's watching this, I hope you guys really enjoyed today's show. I want to thank John for coming on here, and maybe one day maybe I could get John and Nicole on here at the same time to get the medium on here because I like to research a lot of what this person who died in the multiple people who've died in there and see if there's some relations there. And remember, guys, my quote of the day from Jackie Chan himself: sometimes it takes only one act of kindness and caring to change a person's life. So that says that everybody has the power to change somebody's life.
You mind if I make a comment about that real quick?
Go for it.
So in 2020, I did my first YouTube interview. This is the first time I ever talked about any of this stuff. And I totally regretted it after I did it because I felt like it wasn't a good idea. But I looked at the comments after the video played, and I saw a couple of people said, "Oh, you're brave for doing this. I had the same experiences." So a couple of comments in the comment section actually gave me the motivation to keep going because I was about to do one interview and just be done with it. I just want to put some truth out there and leave it alone. But a couple positive comments gave me the courage to go forward. So
And
that's definitely true.
And that's awesome. And that is awesome. But, you know, you also have to realize there are going to be people that's going to leave bad comments just because they do. There are trolls out there on purpose, and never let a small percentage of these people ever bring you down, because I know sometimes we read great comments and there's always that one or two that really brings you down. There are always going to be those trolls. There's always going to be skeptics, unbelievers, to the point where they're going to say not so nice things. Just I like what you're doing, John. Just brush through it. And more you talk about it and more you go on shows telling your experience, I've heard from people that they feel better. They feel like they're letting this stuff off off their chest. And there's a different kind of a love and hope they're replacing it with, because you do get tired of not being able to tell your story. And once you start telling that story, it just helps you. I mean, you know, it's like people going to a psychiatrist, right? You go there to talk, to get things off your chest. And in a lot of ways, I'm your psychiatrist. I wish I had medium powers.
I can agree with that pretty much. That's how it feels sometimes, you know, like, because I have nobody else to tell this stuff to. You know, my friends don't want to hear this stuff.
No, and everybody who comes to this channel, they're fantastic people in the chat. They're so kind, they're so great, and all that. So guys, subscribe to his channel and share this video. Tell everybody about it, because this was so positive, so fantastic. And the next time I bring John back, I'm going to get Nicole on this channel too. We'll get John, we'll get a medium, and we'll dive even deeper into this, because we're just scratching the surface. So beyond that, guys, we love you all, and be kind to somebody.